Hello, guys, and welcome to Behind the Bunker, episode number 471 here, podcast 351. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is Labor Day weekend, or is it Memorial too?
No, it's Labor Day.
Just Labor Day on both sides?
North America-wide.
All right, so thank you guys for tuning in. With me, I have Josh Zuby-Zabrickus.
Yeah, buddy. Fresh off shingling my roof and my shed, so I'm toasty and all messed up and super tired, so tonight should be a lot of fun.
You're not supposed to work on Labor Day. Yes, and then we have Joe Kimson from Flag Raiders Paintball.
Hey, greetings. Thanks for tuning in tonight to beautiful Behind the Bunker, and we're rolling into Labor Day weekend. And don't forget, tomorrow night, if you're itching for some paintball, Tuesday night mission paintball at the Outdoor, 5 p.m. till sunset.
Hey, I just was scrolling through my timeline, and George Hayes already shared this. That's how I find it, so I'm going to click on his link and watch it tonight. So
It's Lincoln?
His Lincoln. Very good. Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we also have Garvin Sharma from TerraTech Industries.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I am here. I don't know why. It's a holiday for us here and you in the United States of America. So I should be on my couch rubbing my bloated belly from the sausages and hot dogs. But I'm here, and hopefully some of it is going to be entertaining tonight. So, as always, because my friend Josh has forgotten this once again, make sure you hit that like and share button so people know what's going on your Labor Day Monday, and we can all get this paintball train rolling.
There we go. Something else we're doing as well is we are broadcasting live on the YouTubes. So head on over if you would prefer to watch over there. We're going to watch your comments on that as well. So I will I'll load that up. If you guys have comments or things to get to, we'll get to you guys on there as well. But nice to see you guys. There's a bunch of you guys chiming in already. So thank you for tuning in. Hit that like and share, as Gavin just said. Gavin, what do you know about this? Put you on the spot.
You know what? For months would it be? It's been quite a while. So when we first watched the online streaming documentary, we were all tickled and giddy and so excited. It was an incredible piece of paintball history. And now, my friends, the shipping of the complete history of paintball, the director's cut, which will be covering the complete story, the origins of the game to this day, 39 years old, and more than 100 interviews, hundreds of photos, amazing stories from those that created the game, including 5 of the original 12 players, as well as dozens of movers and shakers that have shaped the game in the 39-year history. And how can you own a piece of this history? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can order from paintballmedia.net or com, I believe, and you can get a 6-hour 3 DVD or Blu-ray package, which will be shipping shortly. So the next day or two, John Amadea is going to be reaching out to those who have pre-ordered to find out which format they want, whether it's DVD or Blu-ray, and will be shipping shortly after that. I am staring at that. I've ordered my copy. I can't wait for John to reach out and touch me and let him know that I want the Blu-ray. And as I posted earlier today, no, I will not be sharing with any freeloaders. So if you haven't ordered your copy, you still have time to do it yourself, because I ain't sharing.
You ain't?
I ain't.
I always pluralize that.
Yeah, so it will begin shipping mid-September. I'm trying to get this back on, all right?
Go for it.
Yeah, mid-September. You know what? It's an early Thanksgiving present. It is an early Christmas present, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you name it. It is important for all paintball players to have a copy of this, because the amount of effort and work and quality that has gone into this is second to none. So make sure you pick up a copy for yourself.
That was a good line, Gavin.
What's that?
A present for yourself for Thanksgiving. I don't think I've ever bought myself something for Thanksgiving.
Just a lot of misery from family reunions.
I bought a pretzel once watching a parade, but there's going to be no parade.
No parade this year.
No parade. No Shriners.
Hey, nice to see all you guys in YouTube that are watching already. I see Carl Morey. He says Happy Labor Day. And Killer Cab 11 says, I saw the 3-hour one, but didn't realize there was a 6-hour one. So as Gavin said, you're kind of getting some more stuff that had been left on the editing room floor, but it's all gold, Jerry. It's all gold.
That's right. This is the perfect package to work an ass group into your couch and waste a full day with Cheetos and beer watching paintball documentaries.
I never get tired of hearing about my great package. So, lots to get to on the show tonight. We have the Vault segment tonight. What else do we have? We have some advice that you guys were looking for. We also have Gavin's got a couple questions in mail time. We have some of your mag-fed guns loaded we want to get to, and I think that's... and Price is Right, and if there's a few other times we have a few more things as well. Nice to see Rick Chard in the live chat, Emery Davis, Eric Parks, Jason Mullins, all you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in and hitting that like and share button. Killer Cab 11 says he needs a DVD. Well, yeah, just head on over to paintball.media and order one up. What should we get to first? Joe, you ready to do a vault segment?
I think we can do a vault.
Why don't we do a vault since we skipped over it, not blatantly, but we did that last week. And then when we come back, guys, lots more news.
Hey, it's Joe from Flaggers Paintball here with another segment of From the Vault, where we go back in time, back into the early days of paintball, show you something cool that I own. Today is no different. Today we are looking at the PMI 3. This is... I think it's a combination of a couple generations, because the first ones that came out had metal parts. This is a plastic side rail. The other ones were machined aluminum. However, this has a brass barrel. Some of the screws are brass, as you can see how they're tarnishing. These are pretty cool. They are ambidextrous, so you could put the cocking mechanism either on the right or left hand. This one has no barrel bag on it, so we can demonstrate it. These came in a variety of different combinations directly from PMI. You could put the 12 a tank in the front, either a 7-ounce or a 12-ounce or a 3.5 ounce, and just have a smaller one. Or several of them ran air in the back with a car stock. So this is the PMI 3 or VM68 as we know it now. You've been watching From the Vault, and we'll see you next time. Pew pew.
Hey, here I am, pew pew. Well, that was one of my VM68 or PMI 3. That was I think it was a bit of a hybrid, because it had the brass barrel and it had plastic side rails. The early ones were aluminum, but it did have a stock, and I sold the stock off to somebody. It had sort of a wire stock like a Sten gun, and I sold that off to somebody.
Nice.
So it's kind of cool. It still works. I don't dare shoot it, but I remember trying to change the velocity, and you had to take the whole thing apart and pull out the seal seating. You had to turn it because there was different size holes. Pretty interesting.
That was reminds me a lot of the autococker days. We get to the chronograph in the morning, and then we take everyone
Take out the cocking rod.
It was hours long.
So, I really enjoy your vaults, Joe. Paintball history, and it makes me smile. If you so choose, or if you have extra so you don't mind shooting, I would love to see some of these old SOBs out on the field playing. So if you have an extra that you don't mind airing up and playing with, I think that would be a really neat addition to see how maybe some young people who have never played the sport or new to the sport get to play with some paintball history. I think that would be a nice segment.
But it would help
nice
a lot of
addition to the
the
segment.
younger and newer players to identify the older type stuff. Because I bring some markers out to the field. Guys are like, oh, what is that? It's like, this is an AGD TAC 1. And they go, oh, so it's not a die? It's like, no, it's not.
Or just having people run with like a splat master for the Rapide for a game or two, just to really appreciate how the development and the of technology and the system, or the tools that we have now versus
should do like a
versus
step
what they
up
started.
package.
I have that.
So you rent a marker for the day. The first game you get to play with like a splat master Rapide, and then you go to a marker like you just had in the video. And then you kind of step up to a 98, and then maybe you finish off the day with
Hi, I would like to have the paintball through time package.
That's right. It's like the time warp package.
Yeah, I'll be playing all day, so I would like the
Can't play all day with a BM68.
But you start them.
It'll let you appreciate
Just start them
where
off.
it started, right?
You start them off with just safety glasses. And just as far as
Squash goggles.
Squash goggles.
Oil-based
Then
paint all
something
over
with
the
a
place.
mask and ear protection, or do you just?
No, it'd be neat to see those old guns shoot again, and to see if they can compete, somebody can compete with it.
I have a Rapide, not the one you got me because it's brand new, but I have a couple green ones that we could try to use, and I could probably get a null spot to fire up. We were shooting my PMI 1, so we'll bring something out. It's a good idea.
You've
got
the OG package.
Yeah, no, you've got a ton of markers in your vault, and if there's some that you don't mind
dirtying up
a bit, then
Do you think many girls are looking for the OG package? I don't know. All right, Jason
way to
Smith.
derail our conversation.
I know.
That's
Jason
great.
Smith in the live chat says, "Hey BTB," he says VM68 was the first marker I played with in 1994. Raptor PB says, "Hello." Do we know Raptor PB?
We do know
do.
Raptor PB.
I know. And who else was it here? Ryan McGee says he's already ordered his Blu-ray edition. Look at you.
Nice.
Look at him and his fancy Blu-ray. I still have regular DVD player. And Killer K Cab 11 in YouTube says, I played Speedball with the Brass Eagle Stingray today.
Nice.
So there you
That's
go.
Question is, did he use HPA?
I know
We'll
you
wait.
could.
No, he had
use
he had
HPA.
nitro.
I would like to back to Gavin's segment. I'd like to get a copy of the history of paintball, but we have neither a DVD player or a CD player. If you buy, if you
I'm
buy
sure
the,
your,
if you buy
your
the,
little fellow's Xbox could play it.
I guess so. Do you get,
Maybe just Blu-ray on the Xbox.
Yeah.
but do you get a digital copy as well for yourself? I wonder if that could be arranged. John Amodeo. Amadeo.
I'm sure if you buy the Blu-ray, I'm sure he would send you a digital copy. I'm sure. I
Now
thought
you're just making stuff up.
well, no, I'm putting words in his mouth is what I'm
He's
doing.
going to send you $500 too.
Yeah. Oh, well. So there you go, guys. Check it out. 3 discs. 6 one-hour episodes. Very cool. Air Ups, guys. They are still offering 20% off their entire store catalog.
Homage.
So if you guys want to order a field or even one of these, the field maps, do so now. Head on over to Air Ups. Tell Brent we sent you. Guys, we're looking at featuring a team over the next couple weeks. If you guys are on a paintball team and want your team featured on the show, send us some correspondence and maybe we can get you guys sorted out. Planet Eclipse back in stock. Battle of the Bands. We saw that they have beanies and all kinds of other stuff. So check out your local retailer for that. Also, Altered Carbon Shaft FL Alley Tip. Finally available, so make sure you guys go check that out. Mex Education G-Tech M170R with the Gamma Core drivetrain. Those are shipping out as well, so if you guys want one, go to your local retail store and check them out.
Is that bottom right?
Look at
It's
that.
the
That's
Predator.
Yeah. Wow.
The Rhodesian, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't get too excited because that is my next marker.
Nice.
That pattern, they're not allowing me on their team, but I'm going to pretend and be with one of their guns.
If they come out with the MG100 in that pattern, I'm buying one.
I think
the-
it
The
was
EMF.
M170R.
It's the HDE
Yeah.
is available in the MG100.
Well, if they come out with a Predator 100, then I'm there.
There you go. Also, your Comfort Zone Phantom Playing Pants also available as well, guys. If you're looking for some tournament
You know
pants
what?
for this
It's
for the fall season.
Kind of neat. They're showing some new product releases and things that are happening, which is good to see. They'll have to be the companies are going to have to do some releases because there's it'll be interesting to see if the tournament series in the States will happen. So there'll be some new releases as well.
Yeah. I love Ryan McGee in the YouTube live chats giving you shit, Josh.
I know.
It's not
Oh,
the
yeah.
MG100, Josh.
I told you at the start of the show. I couldn't even remember the VM68 Joe had in his video.
So,
that
Joe,
we
you-
watched 10 seconds before. So
You've got the write-up on this, but this is the EMF 100. But what do you guys think of this?
That's like the steampunk version I saw.
no, it's not.
There's nothing.
Nothing
steampunk about it.
By the way,
okay.
That's
with
more
this-
Boba Fett.
with
than
it, yeah, I
anything.
was just gonna say with this
Whatever.
colorway, I didn't realize that the stock had numbered positions because I never noticed that on the
yeah.
black plastic. Very cool. But what do you know about that, Joe? You have some write up there,
didn't give it to
or did I
me.
give it to Josh?
Oh, is that the one you gave me?
Okay, apparently I gave it to Josh.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Wow.
As you wish, check out this very cool EMF 100 Sierra Coat Special created for paintball.de with Nightmare Inc. It's called The Bounty Hunter. Available in kit form or as a complete marker build. You can click some links below for prices and availability and such and such and such. That's paintball.ee or de/brands/planet hyphen eclipse /Sierra Coat editions.
Yeah, look at that.
So you're right on the Boba Fett.
Yes, sir.
Oh no, can't say that.
No.
Copyright. It's the bounty hunter.
Oh, Disney owns it now. You got to be all copyrighty and
Boba
stuff.
Fett. He's our southern neighbor.
Bilbo Fett.
So there you go. Go to paintball.de. You can see there's different.
Yes.
299 pounds.
Euros.
Euros.
No, those are euros. Aren't
Euros.
They? That's a lot of cake.
299
That's a sandwich,
euros.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Delicious.
Very good. Ghost Recon Black Ops, guys. That's happening September 12th to 13th.
Hey, that's soon.
That's this weekend.
Yeah.
And don't forget Endless Legends, October 2nd to 4th at OXCC. Gavin, we got a minute for some mail time.
Yeah, we have a few leftover questions because this mail time, I guess there's something else that came in too. So, it's Labor Day, so the postmen and women's around the world have taken a break, but we do have some leftover questions for mail time.
Mail time.
Mail time. Mail time. Mail time. Mail time. The mail's here.
I forgot we had that.
Oh, look at that.
I got it for Christmas. It's a limited edition one. It's numbered.
The Noid?
Oh. You know what?
I just wanted to see how long it was going to take.
Train.
All right, so,
You know
okay,
what?
ladies and gentlemen, I'm going ahead, and then Matt tells me, no, the bumper's on, and all of a sudden we get distracted with Knifey Spoony, and Todd doesn't give a shit about the program.
Joe was talking with just fine. It's just Gavin was looking not at the camera and didn't realize he was on for the longest
You're
time. It
talking
was
about
his
knives.
uncomfortableness was just great.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so here we go. Back to mail times. We have about 3 questions remaining from previous weeks. And, ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you once again, if you have any questions or anything you'd like us to address on this show, send it to showbehindthebunker.com. Post in the Facebook chat forum or now the YouTubes as well. And even every so often, Todd glances at Instagram. So if you have any questions, post those up there, and we can read it in mail time. So let's get into it. The 3 questions we have. First one comes from Brady Allen 12, and he wants to know, just wondering, do you think there's a difference between an Ontario Paintball League or OPL referee compared to a rec ball referee? If so, how? So I guess, what's the difference between a ref who plays or just a regular scenario game or rec ball versus a tournament league referee? Is there any difference at all?
I would say, Gavin, you used to ref a local tournament series.
Several local tournament series.
That's right.
Yeah,
I think they're. I think one is a little more politically correct. I think a recreational or scenario player has a little more political correctness. They're good at steering people and helping new players and being diplomatic and not offering people a better experience or a good experience. Where the speedball guys, they're not there to be chatty. They're there only to tell you whether you're out. They're not there to help you. They're not there to be your friend. They're basically there to call you out. And most of those guys, I don't know if you'd agree with this, Gavin, but most of them should be players, people that understand the game and how to get away with cheating and how to play the sport. They should know all the rules because of that and the format. But they're pretty well versed in that catalog of rules and finite rules for speedball anyways. I don't know, Joe, how would you define a scenario or a rental ref? I mean,
I think a scenario, a ref, they're helping with problem solving. They're helping people with their equipment. They're clearly helping a beginner player. They're painting a story. They're like a visual storyteller. They're creating an experience. They should be actively involved in a game. They should be constantly flipping, adjusting the teams to make sure the teams are reasonably balanced. Meaning you may have to separate friends and so just put them on the other team for the good of the game. Although a speedball ref or a tournament ref is actively involved in the game, and they have to be really paying attention 100%. To watch where the balls are flying, where the action is, because at any minute a player could get hit and not realize they're hit and then just carry on. So a speedball referee has to be involved, has to know the rules, has to know how to play, and should be a player.
Super proactive, because if a player gets hit, doesn't realize and continues to play on, not only is that going to change the course of the game, but that's a penalty waiting to happen. And yeah, but I mean, you're either way, you're not going to, if a new guy comes off the street and you hire him, you're not going to be able to put them in either of those positions without some good training, because you can't just. I mean, everyone thinks they can ref, but there takes a certain kind of person to be able to do that. Josh, you ref hockey. How well do you know all the rules? Have you played hockey before, or are you just a hockey ref?
I played hockey for a long time. At the level that I'm at, you have to know them. You don't really have a choice.
The level of ref or the level of pro player that you are?
Level of ref.
Okay.
So I think there's a big difference between the two. Can I say it? Genres of games.
Yes, John,
Yeah,
you know what?
there we
What
go.
is wrong with that
Yeah,
word?
No, I can say it. So
If I was going to use a word, it would be genre.
So, Brady, a rec ball rep is more to manage safety and customer experience. So you're helping to, as Joe said, you're helping to enhance the game. It's far more hands-on to ensure the guests have great experiences. Now, with a tournament rep, that's a completely different animal. You are not there to help anybody out enjoy their day. You're there as part of a referee team to help the tournament be legitimate, to be consistent, and to essentially, I used to like it called, it's like the entrapment ref, right? So you're waiting there, and yes, you have to be a player, you have to have a certain skill set, you have to know cheating, right? You have to be able to look out for that, you have to have great eyes, ears, and a team that you're working with, because as soon as the person's hit, you have to be able to pull them out immediately, and you have to rely on your other teammates. Versus rec ball, I mean, you can sort of saunter over and get over to it, and if somebody's hit and playing on,
You could almost argue
it's not a big deal, but
you could almost argue that the speedball ref is a little more physical.
they would have to. They absolutely have. So I've done both recreational reffing and I've done tournament reffing too. And the demands on the body for tournament reffing is significantly more than a recreational paintball player.
Yeah.
And you have to get in there, and it takes a certain temperament as well, because depending on the league, depending on the rules, some people can get quite vocal.
And you can back me up on this, but I love watching guys on the sideline that are complaining the referees aren't seeing what they're supposed to be seeing. And here's an example. A guy runs from the back corner and slides into Snake 1 right in front of the referee, but the referee doesn't look like he's moved his head or even realized he's moved. He does that purposefully so he's not giving away the player's position. That's a proper ref move there, not a, oh my God, I'm going to run in and go check you kind of reactionary thing. And a lot of the refs of the local series as well, they communicate as a team. So if a guy's moved into a position and they just can't see it, they'll signal with arm signals to their guy across the way, and all of a sudden they're switching up now. So, I mean, a good ref on both genres are...
I remember reffing and doing that same sort of hand signals, and other teams, particularly the newer divisions, maybe their first tournament, their parents losing their mind, thinking that refs were cheating on behalf of the other team, because we're throwing up these hand signals, and then people are like, well, they're giving away information. Yeah, because you can't see shit, and so we're letting people you're letting your partner know across the field to watch the blind side. And a good ref too won't leave their zone. Right, as you said, they won't chase somebody down and give their position away. Yeah. But they're also, if somebody shoots, if you're reffing sort of the back corner and somebody say, "I shot that guy, go check him," I'm not leaving to go check. One, it could be a great strategy for people to cheat, as they distract you to go check somebody else and they wipe their hit. Right, so it's refs work as a team. They work their zones. There's a very different skill set. So Brady, as a recreational ref, you can ref by yourself. But it's a tournament ref, you absolutely, it's imperative to ref as a team. So, yes, I think there's a big difference.
Yeah. I Googled this. I don't know if it will actually. No, it won't. I'm going to play it. Okay, let me get back to this after the next question. There was something else in here, Gavin. I didn't want to pass. Zane Smith said paintball extravaganza should be held along NXL World Cup. I just saw that in the chat going back a little ways. I don't think World Cup is going to happen this year. And to be honest with you, just a quick answer to that, World Cup is so busy, it's his own thing. I don't know that you could do a paintball extravaganza properly. Joe, what do you think of that?
You know what? I almost think, because you have so many of the players, and so many of the manufacturers are there. So many of the manufacturers are already in one place at one time. And then you have several owners of and operators of fields in Orlando, or where they hold World Cup for that time. If you could somehow put in a day and a half or a 2-day event, I think it would be a pretty good one-stop shop. So you'd be able to combine. I don't know if there's a word. You can combine the two genres, I think, quite easily. And I think he could pull it off.
It makes sense. It would be cheaper for manufacturers and distributors to go down because it's only one event they're attending. But if you remember who's manning the booths, a lot of them are players.
A lot of them
right?
are
So
players.
who'll be committed to playing and won't be able to man the booth. So, and I know there's separate entities as well, so that's tough to coordinate that stuff. But yeah, I think from an industry point of view, from manufacturers, they would certainly prefer to send it to one show versus multiple shows and spread out their staffing, right? So,
I want to place. Let me turn off the bed for a second. I just Googled how to say the word genre. Genre, spelled ZH. So you keep saying John, like John with a J.
That's genre.
It is not. Listen.
Genre.
There's so many talking.
No,
Have you been reading?
Hold on a second. Freeze. Stop. You're worried about genre, and Joe has been saying Tuesday for years.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I think
It's Tuesday.
I think
Tuesday.
there should be a new Behind a Bunker segment called Genre Talk with Todd.
I just try to shoehorn the word genre in as much as I can.
I know. And then
all right, next question
it's a multi-genre discipline.
coming to us from Chafing
Segment is
PB.
frangible.
Want to know, will there be any big games coming up?
We'll do something at Flaggers, a Phoenix project of sorts, maybe with two original generals, Josh Zabrickus and Gavin Z. Sharma.
Maybe. And Chafing PB, it depends on where you are, because I know stateside there's a number of big games that are up and running. Depends on what your state is. And
Chafing's
what
here.
state.
He's
Sorry?
Declan Gilhooly.
Chafing?
Chafing is.
Oh, okay. So I guess, you're referring to Ontario. So there's some mini big games or smaller games.
Yeah, because of the pandemic.
Because of the pandemic and the cap. So because we're in phase 3 and things haven't quite opened up yet. And so I know a number of people, a number of fields have capped things at what's supposed to be 100 players. So yeah, there may be some mini big games, which are probably going to be fun for skirmishes, and you don't have to worry about too many people and much more movement, much more strategic. So
there will be a Phoenix project.
and Joseph's just declaring now, stating live on air, there will be a Phoenix project. So there will be a big game at Flag Gators, obviously with some cap numbers as well. So stay tuned for that.
Hey, James in the chat says that a player on the USA team says World Cup is still a go. I'll bet you on that.
I will double that.
That it's not. That,
I want
that
to
it's
hit on
not
that
gonna
action.
go.
Is that in Florida?
Yeah.
That
And then
might still be a go. Then.
It's not going to be a go.
And then our dev that's watching us live on our YouTube feed right now, he says, any questions, eh? How is the sand-based paintball industry faring in these unexpected times?
Now, our market typically picks up in the winter because people use that for traction as well. So manufacturing has slowed down quite a bit. So stay tuned. I'm hoping that we can continue to thrive as a alternative projectile business.
I must say the beaches are nicer these days.
Yes,
No one's-
there's far more sand on the beaches, and nobody's pilfering it. But yeah, so the sand-based is chugging along, my friend. Thank you for asking.
Gavin doesn't have to do his reverse Shawshank Redemption weekend.
What is
buckets
what
of
was
sand.
in the package, by the way? Did you open the package?
I did open the package.
With
Let me get to one
with a
more
butter
question
knife.
before I
Okay.
wrap
Right,
it.
you're
I'm just
nice
curious.
You know
with
what? This
salt.
is my segment, but you want to take it over,
ahead,
Todd?
no,
What the hell?
Hijack.
All right. So, last question, and before we open up this mystery package that Todd has already teased us about, Chaos Photography says, what was the first paintball marker you owned? And that is a question for everybody, including Matthew.
Well, let's
So,
start
what is
with
the
Matthew.
first paintball marker you owned, Matthew?
Well, that's easy. I had a mini mag. And I still have it somewhere in pieces, I'm sure.
That's it, in pieces.
Oh, yeah, like you're going to say, it's in a vacuum seal oil container somewhere.
All right, go around the horn. So, Todd, how about you?
I think physically it was a KP3, and I can't even remember what was after that, to be honest with you. I think maybe a JT.
Accelerator?
Oh, that JT
No, my
thing,
wife
that
bought an
J-
AT accelerator. Now that I'm
Elliot
thinking about
Darno says PMI Tracer.
it, might have been an Impulse, Joe. Oh, autococker. No, it was a
Autococker.
2K5 autococker that I bought.
Before the Impulse? I don't know.
Yeah, the autococker was first because my first tournament day was played with a mechanical autococker.
Eric Part says Splatmaster. Dwayne
As
can
they
see
all
Brass
should.
Eagle Stingray for the win. Go to Dwayne. Getting lots of chiming in here on our
Tipman
Facebook.
Pro Light from Stephen Rickett.
Yeah. Gavin, what was your first?
My first marker was a Brass Eagle Tiger Shark pump with BL200 and 7-ounce tank, which I purchased from Brass Eagle from Gino Perrone.
Whoa.
Yes. From Champions at the time. So Gino was
Gino.
yes.
Wow.
Do you still have warranty?
Billy
I'm pretty
Ketz,
sure.
SMG 60, Stephen Rickard, Stingray as well, John Metcalf, 98 Custom. Josh?
Ryan McGee in the YouTube chat says Spider Compact version 1.
Ooh,
Nice.
it's all
Nice.
plastic and the thing would fall apart. Lisa Weber was a 98.
98. Yeah.
The Spider Compact, the metal body, whatever it was, the caulking rod, either you guys took them out or they always broke and disappeared.
They vibrated out. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the Stingray.
No,
Same
no,
with
no.
Same with
It was
the
a
Spider.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the screw.
George
yeah.
Hay got a JT Eradicator for my first, then an A5.
Was that before or after your first pair of Crocs? Carl Mori says 2005 Green Spider electric gun always dies. There you go. All right. Sorry, Josh, I missed what your first one was.
Mini Meg.
Mini Mag. Okay.
Same thing as Matt.
Yeah, yeah. Is that why you guys flashed some sort of gang sign across the table?
You know it. Gavin's part of the club too, by the way.
I didn't have any guns.
No.
You have to ask.
All right, Joe.
It's his segment. I'm not railroading his segment. They're
yeah,
getting
you're gonna ask.
ostracized.
You took over. Joseph, what was your first paintball marker that you purchased?
PM, we had Mark 1 Uzis for the field, but I
No,
think
for
no,
you.
no, but the first one I bought, the first one I had, I think I got a JT Splat I mean, no, not a Splat. I mean, just a Splat Master, and I used to have it in a shoulder holster when I played
Nice.
my Mark 1. And I remember pulling it out in the long grass in Cambodia and shooting people. Yep.
Jeez.
Nice.
Danny Barney Alamo says his Rapide.
Excellent.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so this week we were a little short on questions because the mail delivery people were not working because of Labor Day. But if you have any questions that you would like answered on the show, send it to showbehindthebunker.com, post on any social media, and we'll get to it next week. So before I rip open, or before I cinch my sack up and continue on with our evening, the last piece of correspondence sent in to us was from Jonathan Metcalf. He sent us a little package. And in this little package is a patch for the patch wall, ladies and gentlemen.
Ah, very
Oh,
cool.
good.
Good
See
idea.
that? It looks like
Where
it
is
is a
Post behind me.
Sidewinder PB. Hopefully that's correct. Sidewinder PB. So thank you so
Yeah.
much for the patch, Jonathan. We really appreciate it. That'll make its way onto the patch wall.
I'm the patch wall administrator.
Oh, I gave it to Josh. So, that's all Joe. He can slap that up on the wall. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And every piece of correspondence that comes in for mail time.
Very good. Dwayne King said he got his Brass Eagle at Walmart, bought his paintball mask at Canadian Tire, filled his CO2 tank at Badlands, and played late one night behind the lumbar yard.
How's his back?
Thank you.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Oh, wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we move on to what do we have here? Oh, it is advice from idiots, guys. Advice from idiots. I have a couple of your quick questions we'll get to before we move on. We also have Mag Fetish we want to get to, as well
sir.
as maybe some prices right. So we'll see how that goes. If you guys, again, would like any of your questions answered or any advice from the show, just send it in through any of our social media outlets. Josh... Okay, well, we'll read Josh Bell's. Any advice on obtaining sponsorship for our team? Our team plays everything from speedball to big games and some mag-fed. It's a good question. It was a groaner, though. What do you guys
that
think?
was Joe.
Yeah.
Joe can
Well,
answer
the
first.
thing is, Joe, as a field owner here, sponsorship a lot, right? And that's the problem. That'll lead into the question. But, Josh, what do you think? Gavin? You want to rebut?
Yeah, no, I mean, you can solicit sponsorship from anybody. I mean, not just in the paintball industry as well. If that's going to help you to keep your field competitive or keep your team competitive and to travel, but you also have to think about sponsorship as an employee-employer relationship. So, what does the sponsor get out of? What's the return of investment for them?
Is that like a mentor / protege?
A little bit. So, what are you going to do for them? It's great that you can ask for money and you hope that's going to help fund your team. But what are you going to do in return for that? If you're looking to advertise or you're looking for sponsorship from a local field, that may mean reffing, tech and guns, a number of different things. If you're looking for a pro shop, you're going to be looking for discounts on that to represent their team with banners. And is it advantageous for them to sponsor you, right? Are you in a great position to be a marketing tool for them? It's, and you got to think right now in terms of context of the global economy, what's going on right now. People's advertising and marketing dollars are pretty much stretched, right? People are just trying to get by and to make it. So I think it's going to be really, really tough going in terms of soliciting any money for your team. So my best piece of advice for you is to keep doing what you're doing, make your way to the winning circle, represent yourselves as wonderful ambassadors of the sport, and sponsors will find you. So rather than you chasing sponsors, if you are demonstrating that you're a great team and you're great for marketing and promotion and for the sport, then I think people will start tapping you in terms of how they can be part of your team. So just something to keep in mind. It's going to be tough going, slugging it out for a few years, and likely going to be you doing it independently. But if you can work with a pro shop and everybody sort of pools the resources and purchases it from one place, you might be able to get more discounts that way in terms of an in-kind sponsorship like that.
I like the word that you used, marketing tool. There's a lot of people being out there doing a lot of marketing on their own that are tools. Like, if you guys are going to be out there and you're going to try to market yourself and you're going to look for sponsorship, do it in a good light. Like, don't be a piece of work. Don't show paintball in a bad light. Don't badmouth other people. Just do it for the love of the sport. And if I wanted to sponsor someone, it wasn't going to be someone who had, half the people who loved them and half the people who hated them. You want someone who's just out there looking, always having a good time, always posting on social media the happy parts of paintball. And that's the other thing. Grow your social media presence, and at least that's a draw for the field if you can bring some people to it.
Yeah, it takes work, right? Like actual real work, not just hey, we play here a lot, give us a discount or something like that. But I think it's very advantageous in paintball to clarify exactly what sponsorship means. There are some people out there where they say, "Oh, I want to get sponsored by like Planet Eclipse." Right? And then, they just think they're going to get all this stuff for free, and Planet Eclipse is going to send them places and stuff. That's not how sponsorship works.
I'm well aware. I've been begging for guns for years.
It's not how it works. Often it's, giving you markers at a really good price.
Yeah.
Or possibly paint's the hardest one to come by. But, like, even at a local field, it's not like you just show up and you play for free just because you're there. Right? I don't think there's actually anybody in paintball that gets that kind of sponsorship stuff. Like, so it's very clear to say to yourself, like, look, my sponsorship goal is to help my local field. Maybe they help me out with paint cost here and there, and a small discount on some products and stuff. And that's about as far as anyone's ever going to get with sponsorship. So be very, very clear and upfront what sponsorship means.
And if you think of some of the paintball sponsored players right now, individual players like tournament players or scenario, it's taken years for them to get to that level. It's taken years for them to build up enough social media presence and influence that people are tapping them. So again, you put in the work, you represent yourself as ambassadors of the sport, then grow, as Todd said, it was a great idea, continue to grow your social media presence, then people will start approaching you about how they can be in partnership with you.
Yeah.
So that's all I got. Sorry, buddy.
No, that's good. Joe, if someone's going to come to you and say, "Hey, I want to be sponsored,"
I put a post in the chat. It says there is a pandemic. No one is getting sponsored except Wayne King or Raptor PB. Then I said, Kennedy said it best. Ask not what your country or field can do for you, but what can you do for your field or country. Boom, there you go.
Back many years ago, back in 2006, maybe. Paintball was at a high. You might have been able to convince some field owners to help you out with some stuff when things were going well. But in all honesty,
you just came out of 8 weeks of not even being open. I can't give anything away.
Yeah.
But what can you give me?
Yeah, that's the thing. Go to your field, put in some labor, and get some free stuff out of it. If you work a day at the field owner's going to probably give you some free entry, maybe some paint.
hot dogs.
And that way it doesn't cost him anything. It doesn't cost you anything.
Or if you're in Michigan with Lisa, you might get a Boy Scout meat stick.
There you go. Speaking of meat sticks, George, hey, says sponsorships need to be earned.
I would sponsor George because he would rock some purple and yellow flag ritter Crocs as well as some jeggings.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Because he's put in the work.
So last year, pre-COVID, how many, George? You can type.
He's put something into those jeggings.
You can type in the chat, George, because I was quite impressed when we were chatting last about how many big game events you attended last year, like it's pre-COVID. For 2019, how many big games did you show up at? So George was a staple. He was a fixture at just about every big game. So when sponsors,
came to Flaggers
he came to
four times.
Yeah, absolutely. So he crossed the border like 4 times to hang out. Representing the brigade program at the time. So you know what, George, how many games? It's crazy. So you look at sort of that dedication, the amount of miles or kilometers that people put on. George is a true ambassador to the sport, and I think that's why sponsors approach him to be part of their team.
Yeah. Well said. So we're done with all of that
nonsense.
Anyone else have anything more to say before I go on to something else?
No,
I was going to say that was almost not an idiot response. That was
we actually gave it some thought. Yeah. Planet Eclipse guys, did you know that not only are they sponsors of the show, but they are owners of more championships? They have new mechanicals, new electros, new territory, including the new MagFed division. Get Planet Eclipse guys and take on the world.
When the world's greatest players, photographers, and expected parents need the best coverage, most vivid colors, biggest selection, they pull a tab on an EG product. #PopSpoke.
Thick welded seams, stainless steel hardware, and multiple color options make Air Ups the #1 choice for inflatables on and off the field. Made in America by Brent. Make sure you check out their site for 20% off all of their inventory.
Your entire read, I could have left that slide up for. Thick welded seams. What was it? Inflatables. Go ahead. Sorry. Ruthless Paintball.
Dreams fade. Ruthless Paintball products, colors, sublimation, and craftsmanship never die. On or off the field, Ruthless keeps you fresh. Use the promo code BTB15 right now for 15% off your order.
Adapt, create, and win. Exalt is in our blood. Make your game boil. Get Exalt. Available worldwide.
From the beginning, you stumbled down a rocky cliff or you waded chest deep through a mosquito-infested bog. Now, whether you are sliding into a snake or running and gunning, GI Sports has the genre gear for you, now with the new Stormer.
Nice, Joe. DLX Technologies, guys, the true industry innovators with some of the lightest, fastest, and sleekest hardware in paintball. DLX has the power to get you to the podium.
Well, then, since 1969, Altama has put more boots on the ground than any other DoD supplier. Make the military's choice yours. Get your feet into Altama Original SWAT today. #Sturdy Footwear.
Putting the power back in your paintball. Never miss a shot with Ninja. Ninja supplies regs, remotes, and recharge systems to the top teams and players in the sport. Don't be left behind. Get Ninja.
There we go. Thank you to our sponsors. That's how we sponsor. We try to put our sponsors first, and
let's be honest. We put our sponsors halfway through the show.
Well, yes, that's true. And then,
but they were okay with that.
And I just wanted to mention that George Hay hit over 40 events last year, but he was slacking because the year before that he hit over 50 a year and sometimes more than one on a weekend. So that's the kind of dedication and effort he's putting into it. So George Hay is a good example of the type of work you need to do for a sponsored player.
I think this is the longest time I've gone without seeing George Hay with this pandemic.
I know, exactly. Last time we saw George.
That's
true, actually.
I knew something wasn't right.
So we saw George last in February.
Yeah, at Extravaganza.
In Memphis.
Speaking of been around for a while, Tyler M. in the YouTube chat says, "Hey, it's been years. So glad you guys are still kicking around the world." Thank you. And woot woot, awesome boots, Altama.
Agreed.
Dwayne King.
Those are my EDS, my everyday shoes.
Shoe?
Yeah.
Very good.
I was gonna say there's at least 2 pairs of them at the door to the studio.
Yes.
All right, we have some advice from Idiot segment, but before we do that, Josh, you have some pictures of some MagFed guns that were sent in. Why don't we do a handful of those right now?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not?
First one up is... Oh, you know what? The name got cut off. Oops.
Is Josh Zuby Zabrickus's.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, this is mine. I'll take credit for that.
That's a good-looking marker.
It is.
Good luck.
Next one is from Alvaro Alvarez. He watches the show sometimes.
He sure does.
Yeah.
Nice job.
This is a beaut, actually.
I wrap
last
myself
time
in a
I never
burlap
did.
sack. It's great.
Saks,
In a bindle.
Fifth Avenue.
Next up is Colin Donaldson. I really enjoy the Freak barrel.
I do too.
Oh, in that barrel cover.
Yeah.
I like that. Next one is from Damon Dolph.
What is that?
Is it a
Rap 4.
Titman?
It looks like a Tipman modified.
It
with a
says Rap
magwell.
4 on it.
On the stock.
So
Rap
that's one of the
That looks A5.
one of the
It looks like
conversion
an A5
kits.
grip. A little bit of carbon fiber in
Oh,
there.
It's definitely either an A5 or Phenom, just because of both the barrel as well as the grip, as you guys said. But I would say almost A5, just because are A5 and the Phenom ASA is different.
No, they're the same.
Okay, so then that doesn't help.
It's very unique. That's cool. Next one up is Blake Simon.
that's sexy.
It is. Look at the graffiti. He actually picked that location for that shoot.
Bunch of
What
hoodlums.
kind of gun is that?
That's pretty cool.
It's a nice scope too.
You know what? I don't know. Again, what is it a T15, Joe? Maybe someone at home that's watching right now can tell us.
Or is it a TMC and he's taking... No, it's a T15, I think.
No, that's not
Yeah.
a TMC.
All right, what do we have here?
This is from Emery Davis, who's actually watching the show right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Davis. I had to join in. Very nice. And then, do you have a couple more here?
Yes, I do. Next one's up from Brandon Page, my 2 TMCs.
Wow. Those are good looking.
I wouldn't kick him out of my gear bag. Next one up is David Horst. That's that FN. Oh, what's it called?
You're right with the FN, but is it like...
I'm
again.
writing shots at FN.
We'll have
What's
to-
that? 2000? 1000?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody will tell me in the chat. Maybe it's in the comments. Hang on. Nope, not in the comments. And last but not least for this week, this is Scott Martin.
There we go. Milsig, then MCS. There we go. Nicely done, sir. All right. Neb says needs more hopper. I don't know. I'm really starting to appreciate some of the MagFed markers on the market right now. Advice.
Oh, FN 303.
That's what it was.
Thank you, Ryan.
303. So, another question from Advice from Idiots, or you guys want to play some Prices Right? We have about a few more minutes
We
left.
already did idiot questions, didn't we?
We do what, sorry?
Do we do advice from idiots?
I have two more left, but we can hold off on it.
So
Why don't
we
we
put
do
a segment
one
in a
and
segment?
then
Okay, let's do
we'll
one
do
more.
one, wrap it up, and then Price is Right.
Kevin McKinney. This one's a short one. I was told that it is not worth going pro. Question mark.
Pro what?
Well, we're talking paintball, so I assume he's talking pro paintball. Well, I know that Ollie Lang was driving around in his new Lamborghini.
I don't know if you like if you like
Did you just call him a
paintball and you
shitbird?
If you like the lifestyle, and you like
that what he said?
paintball,
I said, yeah, right.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think Joe's right. So if you want to play at the highest level, you want to push yourselves to the ultimate test in terms of what you're able to do, then going pro is great. Pro is sort of a, put in air quotes, loose term because you're likely going to be broke by the time you get there.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I mean, you look at, okay, here's Nick Sloyak's a great guy. Great example. He's professional, but he has a full-time job working for GI. Would he work for GI and do all the stuff that he does if he was making huge cash being a professional athlete? I mean, we're not talking hockey or basketball, or we're still talking paintball. I don't know that any pro paintball player is making much of a salary, and if they do, they still need to maintain some sort of an existence. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if you wanted to be pro, there's nothing better than being a professional paintball player, I'm sure, and that's the dream that you want. But you're not going to be a wealthy individual if that's what you're looking for.
Like
You're likely going to have another career as well.
Yeah.
Ryan Greenspan has quite an Instagram following. He does promotions for some various products as well, but he's still, he's probably nearly the one of the biggest names in pro paintball right now. But he's doing other things besides just paintball.
Yeah, I mean, all these other guys are looking for product endorsements or anything they can do to kind of keep up their reach and
Reach around.
Yeah. So good for them. Good for them.
Funny, Joe.
All right, well, why don't we move on? Price is Right. Do we have a bumper for our Price is Right, Matt?
I shared this.
Yeah. All right, Price is Right, ladies and gentlemen. Tippmann Model 98 up for bid. Looks like it's in good condition.
Oh, it's brand new.
It does, considering what our rental guns look like. But that is, and it still has the original bubble wrap.
It's a first generation too. You can look. It's pretty old. I don't know.
Still has the original Tippmann barrel sock.
Does.
That calls for something. Who won last time?
I won.
You guess you did because you did propagate that.
Why don't you just kick us while we're down? Then talk a genre in our face until we want to slit our throats.
Yeah. Sorry, can I go back for a second? Tyler in the YouTube chat that just popped up, he says the reward of being pro is to go around the world and play with the best and have those experiences. Yeah, I mean, that definitely would be...
Okay, yes. I mean, if you're traveling around the world, potentially, if you're on a top-level team, but you're not traveling to the nicest of places either, right? It's not like you're going to all the tourist trap areas, too. You're playing a little...
in Ibiza.
And it's not like you're going to walk in and go, "Hi, I'm Ryan Greenspan. I'm here. I'm here to check in from my private suite."
That's right.
Most likely you're sharing.
You're sharing everything, right? You got like 12 guys in a room who are registered for 2.
It's a lot of sharing talk.
I guess if you call that heaven, then... Sebastian Meunier says, "Oh, yummy." Eric Parks is $115. Lorenzo, $80. Seb says $200 of Canadian Tire monies. George Hayes is $125. Gavin, what are you thinking on this?
I'm going to say $85, Bob.
Okay. Joe.
I'm gonna say $98.
Okay. Ardav, who we haven't seen in a while, says
Ardav!
$25 dues and an envelope full of out-of-print currency. Nice. What do you think, Josh?
110.
Oh, so
110.
close.
Matt, what do you think? I'm going to ask you.
Well, I was going to say 90, but then you jumped all over that.
You're actually asking me. I'm going to say someone paid $25.
Okay. Nelson from Seca says 119. This sold for $70.
Oh, wow.
$70. So this leads me to my question. Is the Model 98, which has been the workhorse for the rental industry for years and has gotten numerous amounts of people into the sport, are they worth as much as we think they are now? Because now, like, field owners are now renting, Planet Eclipse Emacs, the GOG Enemies, maybe to a little bit lesser of an extent. And Model 98's not necessarily the only workhorse. The FT12s. So are the Model 98s, are they still worth it? I mean, with the gun itself, absolutely, that's without a question. But is it worth the price anymore? I think everybody should have one in their gear bag as a loaner.
I think so.
Or as their backup.
Agreed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of what used to be tried, tested, and true. Sorry, Matt, give me a second. Here. Smart Parts Ion.
Ugh.
Why?
That's gold.
No.
Look at the mint condition. Aside from someone taking off the original feed neck and putting on a blue clamping
They're so fugly.
That put a lot of kids in the sport, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what?
Still
the gauge
fugly.
is not broken. Normally when they overpressurize the reg, they blow out the gauge and it reads at like something arbitrarily. What do you think? Who won that one?
What's your pressure at?
That was Matt who won that.
All right, pro.
Yeah, pro.
Matt's on the pro
Pro circuit
Pro
here.
circuit. Did you know that Matt actually went to a Price is Right taping?
Yeah, many years ago. Yeah, back in like 05, 06.
Hot 6?
Yeah, something like
So
that.
that was Drew Carey, was it?
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to see Bob.
Or his beauties. Did Drew have beauties?
I don't think he refers to them as beauties, but there were some women displaying things. Yes.
Are you sure it was Price is Right you went to? Honey, I can do whatever you want for 20.
That's
George,
the one where you sit with the dollar bills in your mouth in the front row, right?
Is this Price Right?
That's contestants row, all right. Yes. Anyways, for this Ion, I'm gonna say someone paid a good $95.
Okay. Simeon in the live chat. Where did he go? I just saw him. He said 135. Eric Parks 135. Roger Weiber 130. Sebastian Meunier $182.93. So what are you thinking, Gavin?
Oh, I was looking at knives. Thanks, Joe. 125 for that.
125. All right. That's the same as Chica Estrada. Joe, what are you thinking?
What's the run around $90?
Okay.
What is it?
What do you mean? What is it?
Has anyone chosen around 89 or 90? I was going to go 109, but Gavin said 119.
Yeah, I bid 95. Gavin bid 125.
What did Josh do?
Nothing yet.
127. Did Gavin say 125?
125.
Yes.
Okay,
I don't know if it's gonna-
134.
I don't know if it's going to change anything or not. But
And I
look
like
at
that machete.
Look at the barrel. It's different. And it's pronounced machete.
Machete.
Machete. Josh, what are you thinking?
Gavin actually took what I was going to bid, but for some very silly reason, he added $100 to it. So I'm going to go with 25.
Okay. All right. This sold for $85 reduce.
Damn.
Because it's fugly.
Yeah, but look at the... Yeah. Sadly, that probably got someone into the sport, but looking at the condition, I don't think
It was sitting in someone's gear bag.
You're
Yeah.
messing with us.
Yeah.
Someone won it at a tournament, bought a clamping neck for it, and then just never used it.
All right,
yeah.
let's try this one here. Where is it? All right. Brand new Free Flow Caliber limited gold etched autococker paintball gun. Look at the barrel stock with the leather
Silly.
thing on it. All right, that's something we should talk about one of these days. Is about the new format they're implementing, Joe. Maybe next week we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
What do you guys think about that?
That is pretty damn delicious.
That is sexy.
Zuby, you're up.
That is sexy. I'm going to go 1,200.
Okay, Matt, what are you thinking? Someone who's a critique of fine autocockers.
Yeah, I sure am. I am going to say 750.
Okay. Sebastian Meunier simply just says, Rusty! Nebnella says
Piperino.
1925. Eric Parks, 310. Vicky Brown, 100. Seb coming back with some beefarino. What do you think, Gavin?
So I would say that's probably worth $750 to $1,000, but I don't think that's going to be what it's sold for. So I'm going to play a little psychology game here and say
How's it psycho? I'm not trying to screw you.
$300, Bob. $300.
That went $300. I'm going to cry.
Same here. Bill Scribner, $911. Chica Estrada, $1,235. Joe, what are you thinking?
$875.
Nick, 1133 on YouTube. I apologize, man. I just killed that name. $850. Yeah, there you go. $300 would be criminal, he says. And sorry, Joe, what did you say?
He said 875.
$875. Josh, what are you thinking?
Zuby already bid at $1,200.
Wow, I'm not paying attention at all.
But, like, it's got everything. The die on off. That's Palmer's
you're
rags
like
at the
a
front.
genre shopper.
All right. Roger Weaver bidding $1. Nelson says $785. This sold for $1,850.
Yeah, okay.
That's about right, I would say.
Yeah.
What is an equivalent gun from, let's say, Inception's design go for? we're bidding in U.S. dollars, it's going to be closer to
I think the most
$1,400,
expensive is 14.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end it there. Who won that, Matt?
Well, we got Gavin and Joe with 0 correct, and Zuby with 2.
I win again! Yes!
You all suck. You need to pick your shit up next week.
Zuby for the win. Look
How
at
dare
you.
you let me win?
Simeon in the live chat wants to know, is Flag Riders open tomorrow? Yes. Come out tomorrow night. Doors or gates open at what time, Joe?
5 till dusk.
5 till dusk. There you go,
For
ladies
some
and gentlemen.
pew-pew.
Pew, pew.
All right. Gavin, thank you for being on the program tonight.
Always wonderful to be here, folks. Thank you so much for your contributions in the chat and what you've sent in. And just want to let everybody know, if you are in the 2-hour radius of Flag Raiders in Kitchener, Ontario, join myself, Josh, Todd, and Joe for some Tuesday night Mission Paintball.
And just ignore Matt when he's there.
Matt hasn't been out for some shoes. Have you played? Oh,
He
you've
just
only
sits
played
at the
once.
air table and makes comments about everybody's shoes.
So I'll be out, and I will I'll
be
get
out.
my pew-pew on. So join us.
Just
Do
an
you have a clear
update.
lens?
An update from Inception Design in U.S. prices. The most expensive markers they carry is $1,600.
Is
And
that
there's
the
about a good
Predator?
full line? That's the RAP Retro FLE.
Oh, you mean the one beside you there on the floor?
Yep.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I'm going to take that out to the field, Matt. I want to try one more thing before we decide to do what we're going to do with it.
Yep.
All right, Joe, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks very much for tuning in tonight, guys. Thanks for the interaction. Thanks for crossing various genres. And if anyone's out playing, we'll see you tomorrow night. Pew pew.
There we go. Dwayne King says now he's decided that he's going to show up tomorrow, too.
Nice. Bag of chips will be out, too.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was taunting him.
I would like a tube of Pringles, to be honest with you, but
We can start throwing chips at him.
A tube.
a tube of
A
Pringles.
tube.
Tube.
I saw at the grocery store the other day they have thick ruffled Pringles now.
Are they made by Air Ups?
I don't know. But they did say they were made by Brent, so possibly.
Possibly. What's that?
Yes, I think is that the
No, these are
What the
hot
hell is
dog
that?
Pringles.
Hot dog.
Hot
Pringles.
diggity dog.
You
We
should
bought
eat 'em.
these to try them, and then I looked at them today because my daughter wanted to eat them, and I just looked and it's expired.
Oh, that
August
doesn't matter.
August 16.
Doesn't matter.
August
That's-
16.
it
That's
also
not
says
bad.
it's 98% MSG. Oh, and Swiss Chalet has the Swiss Chalet sauce Lay's chips back again.
I've tried those. Those aren't bad.
No?
I try every bag of chips I can possibly try, like any flavor, and 95% of them are terrible, but I still insist on trying everything that I can.
Because you never know.
That's right.
I had lobster flavored chips in PEI.
Bathroom mold and attic fungus. I tried those, and they're not bad.
What is it, toothpaste and orange juice? That's
Yeah.
my favorite flavor.
I want to try asbestos flavored.
Oh, yes.
It's scratchy.
You won't regret them now. Josh, thanks for being on the program.
Yes, thank you all for watching. Thank you to everyone who liked and shared. It's very important to do those two together. For those of you who didn't, you're dead to us. And don't forget, folks, to help control the local airsoft population, have your local airsofters spayed or neutered.
And Josh also wanted to say, don't forget to subscribe if you're on that YouTube
Oh, yeah,
watching
the
tonight.
Smash that bell or whatever.
Smash that bell and ring that ring.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Ding,
Jesus.
and then the shake
Shut
the
that.
stick and whatever. I don't.
Very good. And thank you to Matt for pushing all the buttons. And guys, we'll see you next week.